Okay, in this video we're going to just look at different ways of formatting, especially double variables. Your typical problem would be, for example, in this case you've got 3 divided by 4, which in mathematics is 1.333 endlessly. Now if you don't do any formatting and you use the placeholder way we described earlier on, you will get this kind of input, which is not really a neat way of providing output of a double value. So the way we solve this in C# is by adding something to the placeholder. You'll remember we have placeholder 0 that is linked to x divided by y. So what we do is we add the colon and f and then a number. Now in this case the number is 2, so we have colon f2. That indicates that whatever you're printing, we want to round off to 2 decimals. Okay, so remember from the previous slide, the answer was 1.333 endlessly. By saying F2, we simply print 1.33, which is a much neater way of displaying the value. It is important to note that this kind of formatting is actually a rounding practice. So in this case you've got 2 divided by 3, which is 0.6666, and if you round that off to 2 decimals it becomes 0.67. So the last decimal is either rounded up or down. So if you don't want any decimals in your answer, you say 0 colon F0, throwing away all decimals, but it's rounding off. It doesn't make it just 0 like in the int divide by int example. It rounds it off, so 0.666 becomes 1. So the same rule applies when you are trying to round off 1.333, because you say F0, it rounds down to 1. So 1.333 becomes 1 on the output. The other formatting that you would use often in pracs is when you work with monetary amounts, in this case the rand. So instead of saying F, you say C for currency, and the Visual Studio in the labs should be set to then show the rand symbol. So if you say 0 colon C2, it will display 0.67 rand, so that R is added automatically. Something very important to understand is that this formatting is simply just the formatting of what's displayed on the screen. It does not change the actual value. If you look at this example, we've got answer which is 0.6666. The first time we display it, we format it to 0 decimals. So it then displays 1. The next console write line we say display answer times 2. Now if the answer was changed to 1, then we would expect an answer of 2. But the value of answer remains 0.6666. So if we display that after multiplying it by 2 and formatting it to 2 decimal spaces, the answer is 1.33 and not 2.